There is a group in the back of this container on the south side of the port, around 700 meters from the waterside, by the trees where we found the last group of people. Seems to be roughly 6 people, but could be more. Cannot see any fatalities as of yet. Seems to be no signs of the drivers. Scan the area for a 4-mile radius and get the medic teams on standby.
I'm an officer with the Metropolitan Police. You're safe now, it's okay. We're here to help you. Let's start getting you out of here. Let's get you warmer to the medics.
How long do you think we've been in here now? I've lost track.
I don't know, honestly. A couple weeks, I think.
I just can't believe this is happening. I just want to get out and go back to my life. Do you think we'll get found?
I don't know, but I really hope so.
Fuck knows if we'll get found. And who knows what lives we'll have if we do. I gave up being found a long time ago. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't how my life was meant to bloody turn out.
I had a real good life, good family. I did good at school. It's all my life was, really. But I just wanted a break. I wanted to live a little. God, I should have stayed in stupid school. My parents weren't happy. They really didn't want me to go, but I booked it. A year travelling around Thailand, a year of living a little. Should have listened to my fucking parents. At first, it was amazing being by myself. Partying, drinking, trying new foods, but slowly money started to run out. But I had just enough to keep me going, but it just kept running out till I was stuck in Thailand with no money. I didn't want to call my family, you know. They didn't have a lot of money themselves and they didn't want me going in the first place, so I just tried selling some stuff and tried finding a job. Anything, from working in a restaurant, a bar, to picking up rubbish, anything. It was all so tiring. All I was doing was just going from place to place, begging anyone for a place to stay and a job. I was just too stubborn to call my family and call for help and go home. I was just so determined to do this whole year of travelling. But then things changed. I met this guy, Ricky. Probably wasn't even his real name. Anyway, he offered me a job and said he had a house that he lived with a couple friends and said I could stay there too, and I needed the job, so I took it. Sometimes I wonder if I just walked away, how different things would be now. But I didn't fucking walk away. I walked right into it. He took me back to where he was staying and it was a fucking mess. There were random people in the living room smoking, but at that time I didn't care as long as there was a roof. But his mates just looked at me. And you'd think they'd greet you, but they just looked at me like they were deciding my worth, you know? And I just thought it was a language thing, so I ignored it. I put my shit down and Ricky took me to this small room that had a couple mattresses on the floor and clothes scattered around, and he said this is where I could stay, and I told him I couldn't pay anything, and he just smirked and told me I'd pay him back in his own way. Fucking creeped me out, but I needed the money, so I let it slide.
Slut.
Stupid.
Idiot.
Mess.
Let down.
I'm so stupid. Anyone else telling me this and I'll tell you to fucking run. But when it's happening to you, you don't always run. Next thing I knew, I was being abused by these guys, getting beaten up and had all my shit stolen, and Ricky would tell me that he was doing it for me. Piece of shit. And then the rape started. and Ricky would have people paid to come over to fucking rape me. But again, he'd tell me that he was doing it for me. He was saving up money so I could go home. I thought this man loved me, cared for me. He was saving up money so I could go home. He was doing it for me. And if I went out of line, he'd beat me to make me remember that he was doing it for me. He'd take me out to streets, into bars, into people's homes where I'd pick up men and have sex with them and give all my money to Ricky. I did this for over a year, getting absolutely nothing. But I thought he loved me. Then he sold me.
Sorry.
Watch it, will you, Jesus?
Well, it's not like there's a lot of room in here, is there?
Yes, I know, but please try to stop kicking me.
It's not like I'm doing it on purpose, is it, Maddie? God, you can be such a cow sometimes.
Shut up, you don't know the first thing about me.
Both of you stop. Camille's trying to sleep.
What happened to her? She looks so sick.
I'm not sure. I know she's pregnant. She never really speaks. I don't think she speaks any English. I've never even heard a word leave her mouth.
How far along is she?
Around 4 or 5 months, I think.
She needs to get some help.
Where do you think we're gonna get help, you fucking idiot? Do you want me to go ask someone selling us to take a quick trip to the local A&E?
What is wrong with you? I mean, you're so rude.
Okay, we're not all perfect, guys, okay? We can't take this out on each other. This isn't our fault. It's not like any of us want to be here anyway, so just please stop. Sorry. It's getting colder, isn't it? I don't think I can feel my legs anymore. Are you okay? Do you feel tired? You no faint? You look like you're losing a lot of weight. Wait, let me see your eyes. And show me that cut you had on your leg. I want to see how it's healing. Emmy, get off me. I'm fine, trust me. I'm obviously not having the best time, but I'm good. I was just saying how cold it was. Leave me be.
She's right. It's bloody freezing in here.
We're just gonna have to try and keep as close to each other as possible. Keep up our body heat.
Aria, how do you know Camille?
We got sold to the same person doing labour work in Germany a few months ago. And then we got sold on together and now here we are.
Were you always together? Like, sold together, I mean.
Nah. I was taken from Haringey about 9 months ago. I was living it rough, you know. I never really came from anything. I always thought London was this place that was paved with gold, but realistically, if you don't come from money, your life means nothing. I never really had a stable place to live or work. I was just doing anything I could to keep going. I was in this one place. It was shitty, but a roof. But I got mugged and they kicked me out because I couldn't pay the rent. So I just started selling anything I could get my hands on, working the streets. Did that for 3 years. Things changed when I met my friends. They just came up to me one day and said they'd seen me about. Said they could get me some jobs shotting for them, so I packed up my stuff and I went with them. I started taking drugs around London for them, and after they said they could trust me, I went further out of London. They were so great. They even let me stay in one of their apartments. I really thought they were my friends. I'd do anything for them. But one time, the police caught on to what was happening, and one of the guys, Aiden, he lashed out at me. I didn't hear from them for a while. Things went all bad though. I was actually able to get work in this local chip shop and stay in a hostel. But then they contacted me again. They said they needed me and Yeah, I was mad that they had abandoned me before, but they said they were only trying to help me, keep me safe. So I agreed. They said there was this guy in Germany who needed some help selling some stuff, and that they'd pay for me and Aiden to go, or something like that. I'd never been abroad before. I was so excited. I just wanted to help them like they'd helped me, you know? I went to Germany with Aiden, and that's when things changed. Aiden went from being this really nice guy to just taking all this anger out on me. He just beat me until he felt okay. Aiden knew I'd never had sex before. And one night, he said that if I was really his mate, then I'd let him take my virginity. And I really didn't want it, but I thought, maybe he was right. Maybe it could bring us closer together. It hurt so bad. I can still feel his hands digging into my thighs, his violent breath on my neck. I'd never bled so much before. And after, he just kept saying how much he hated me and how stupid I am. And then I think he left. Next thing I knew, these guys came in. They said I was being sold to do some labour in the... I don't remember everything, but I was taken to this house to do cleaning, and if they thought I wasn't doing it right, they'd have sex with me till they believed I was good enough. Then I met Camille at the house. She was brought there a few weeks after I was there, I think. I never saw my friends again.
They weren't your friends. What they did was sick and wrong. You know that, right? What? Come on. She must know they fucking used her, just like we're all used by people we thought we could trust.
I think she gets it, Maddie. Leave her alone.
She's not the only one who thought they were doing it to help people. I thought that my boyfriend... Well, I suppose my seller. I thought he loved me. I thought that this was normal for love.
Definitely not normal.
Yeah. I'm aware, folks. Is everything okay with you two?
Yeah, just cold, right? Yeah, just cold. Mattia, what happened with you and your boyfriend? How did you end up here? Haven't seen many men on this side of the truck.
That's good. This side of the truck. I like that.
I came poor, you know. Pa was abusive and Ma was hooked on anything that went up her nose. When they found out I was gay, Pa beat me and told me never to come back. I had a friend who helped me out. I was going to get a part-time job, save up and move to university far away, start a new life. Fairy tales, right? Things were good, you know. I saved up quite a bit and I was on track to finish college and I just wanted to live a little, so I signed up to Tinder. And that's when I met Eric. I've never felt so confident. He made me feel so good about myself in a way that no one had ever let me feel before. He told me I was handsome. He said that he could love me one day. My days became consumed by Eric. If I was working, I'd find a way to talk to him. My vision became Eric. But about a month into talking, he said how him and his sister had this huge fight and he needed a place to stay and needed money. And I didn't really have a lot, but he just seemed so helpless. And he said that if I really wanted to be with him, I'd have to help him out. So I sent him £200 from my savings. And And that night he said he knew he could love me. God, loving him felt so good. He kept saying that he could fall in love with me soon. Eric kept talking to me day and night, and whenever I'd asked to meet, he'd say he couldn't because he was trying to save up for a life that could have me in it. He was busy, but I loved him. I'd do anything for him. So, anything I made from work, I put a little aside for me and send the rest to him. He was saving up for our life. Things changed after 7 months. He asked me to send him nudes. I froze. I had never done that before. I didn't want to do that. I wanted him to see me for the first time in person, and I told him that, and it resulted in him calling me any name that could offend you.
Skinny, prick, very selfish,
Coward.
He stopped talking to me after that. Eric then told me how he planned to tell me he loved me that night. So I sent him the pictures. And he replied instantly. He said that I looked beautiful and that he needed more to know that I loved him and that he could tell me that he loved me too. God, I'm so gullible. How could I believe that? But I did. Part of me believes he does love me. I sent him sexual photos and money for a year and I always asked to meet, but he'd come up with some reason as to why he couldn't every time. Until one day he agreed. We met in a park and I just knew he was the love of my life. He told me that he could get an apartment and move to be closer to me and I could live with him if I worked for him, so I agreed. I got my things and I went to live with Eric. I started cleaning his house for him. And he'd tell me how he was gonna tell me he loved me soon. Then I saw him having sex with other guys. And I questioned him about it. He ended up beating me and said,
"If you love me, you let me have this. Don't be so selfish."
So I let him. I just wanted him to see how much I loved him. So when I heard him talking about how he needed someone to help him grow weed, I didn't hesitate. He just smiled and said he knew I'd make him happy.
God, that man. Eric was my life and I needed him to see how much I loved him.
So I lived in an attic for 4 months in the most intense heat that would make you sick. Hardly any access to water or a toilet sometimes. I'd have to use the corner of the attic. But I did it all because Eric said he'd love me. Well, you don't think your boyfriend will end up selling you instead?
I'm so sorry, Mattia.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you two?
I think she's finding it hard to breathe.
I think we all are. It's cold in here, we're not getting a lot of air. We've been in here a long time.
Does she have asthma or something?
I'm fine. It's just like you said, it's cold in here. It makes it harder to breathe.
Okay, if you say so.
You two are sisters, right?
Yeah, we're sisters. I'm older than Georgia. Yeah, but everyone thinks I'm older. Just not sure, I guess. I have diabetes, and I've run out of insulin, so my symptoms are getting worse.
Well, is there, like, something we can do?
I don't think so. I'm okay, I'm doing okay, seriously.
How long have you guys been in here? Has it been a while?
It's kind of my fault, actually. Ames, no, it wasn't. You didn't mean for this to happen, you know that.
I know, but I feel like it is. You're my little sister. I'm meant to protect you from harm, you know, from bullies and scammers. We're meant to argue and then act like we're best friends the next second. I'm meant to protect you.
You do your best and that's enough. You didn't mean for this to become our life. You are protecting me. We'll be okay, right?
Right. We will be okay. We always are.
It's just been us for a while. Had lame jobs. I worked at a local shop.
That'll be £87.90, please. Thank you for shopping at
And Georgia
Waitrose
worked in
today.
this little pub.
So that's 2 Jaegers and 2 sours, yeah?
It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was ours.
I like my life. I couldn't really ask for more. It was just right for someone like me. I like the introverted way of things. School and working was all I needed. That's where you can see we're different, I guess.
I always wanted more. Georgia, though, she liked the peaceful life, where I like things more in your face. I was never content just working in Waitrose. When we were little, we did child modelling, and as we got older, things got in the way and modelling kind of got pushed aside, but we loved it.
I hated it.
And I wanted to feel that rush again. And when you love something that much, you shouldn't give it up. So I applied to some modelling agencies. I got a reply within a few days, and they asked me to upload different types of photos, and I was good to go. I told Georgia all about it.
Something was just off about the whole agency. The website was tacky, and when I googled them, pretty much nothing came up. But looking at Amy, she looked happy, and genuinely happy, for the first time in a long time. And then she started asking me to join, and everything was screaming to say no, but Amy has this way of making you believe that all these dreams she has can come true. So I signed up.
When Georgia finally gave in, I felt this rush, like we were finally living our lives the way we were meant to. We were meant to have this dream come true. Then 3 days later, she told me she'd been accepted.
Yes.
So together we selected a date for an interview.
When we showed up for the interview, I just had this uneasy feeling. It took us ages to find the damn place, and when we did, it was this rundown building that looked like where you set a horror film. But this was our dream, right? There were these two guys in reception, and when we told them that we were here for a modelling interview, they took us down this long corridor. And I remember thinking, when can I leave? But Amy looked happy, so I went along with it. We stopped at the last door and got led into this room.
When we walked in and I saw other girls there, I was so relieved. I mean, it looked dodgy on the way in, but having the other girls there made it feel legit. We were told to wait until someone came over to us. So we got ready, and then this small man came over. I can't remember what he said his name was, but he was going to be taking George's interview and somebody else would take mine. That was the last I saw of her.
Someone came over, I think he was called Chris, and that he was excited to take my interview. In the room was this table that had a camera set up, a mattress and a white backdrop. My stomach dropped. He must have seen my face because he said that they'd just done an acting scene before and that I had nothing to worry about. And I believed him.
I was taken into the interview room and they asked me to say my name into the camera and then answer some questions. They asked normal questions like my age, my height, and my family relationships. Then they asked me where I'd like to travel to. So I told them Paris and Italy, thinking they'd find me jobs there. Then he asked me what types of photos I'd like to take, so I said anything from fitness to fashion to swimsuit. I take anything really. Then he asked me what my sexuality is. So I said straight, but I do shoots with women too. He just smiled and said,
Perfect.
They then said they had some routine medical questions, like what my blood type is and if my family and I had any health conditions. I didn't want to lie to him, but I also didn't want to lose this opportunity. I was pretty sure Amy was going to get the job and I wanted to be with her. So I lied. I didn't tell him I was diabetic. He then said he wanted to take some photos of me, and I didn't really want to take them, but he just said they were for the next rounds. Then he asked me to take my clothes off.
The guy interviewing me asked if he could take some test photos to see how I photograph. I wanted to impress them, so I agreed. They wanted me to take my clothes off to see what my body looked like. My mind was just reeling. I didn't know what to say or do. I just didn't want to lose the opportunity. I promised no one would see them.
It was so naive of us to believe that no one would see those photos. They were already being uploaded onto porn sites. We didn't know we were being conned into the porn industry. We were young girls who wanted to live a dream. I was taken out back and was told that they had a job for me, that they paid me good money and that I'd be starting that day, but they were holding on to my possessions for a while and that Amy would meet me there. I was just so overwhelmed, I don't really remember what happened.
I was told that they loved what they saw and they had a job for me, and that my sister had already agreed to go. I believed my dream was happening. They said they needed to keep my personal items so that they could pay me later. I didn't know how any of this worked, so I just blindly agreed.
There was a car waiting for me and they would take me to my sister, but once I got in the car, everything changed. They locked me in and drove for hours.
I think a month went by and I had hardly any food or water and I was being forced to create adult films. And if I refused, they'd hit me until I said yes. All I wanted to know was if Amy was okay. I had no idea where I was, and every day I was being forced to have sex with men and women until they were happy with what they had.
I was made to perform for hours. There were some people who wanted to be there. They knew what they signed up for, but me, I was scared. Every scream, every look of fear in my eyes was real. They kept us in this house. New men and girls would come. Some children. We were brought on set to create content, and if you didn't comply, they raped you on camera until that was enough for them.
Please stop! I don't remember when, but I was trafficked to another set and I saw Amy. And I was so happy to see her. And then it hit me. Everything that I'd been through, she'd been through it too. Every touch, every slap, punch, every single bit of it. We'd had our humanity taken from us. We were treated like animals, like toys for anyone to watch online.
When we were told that we were coming back to Newham, I kept dreaming of trying to escape. Would we ever? Is this it now? What I could think was how our lives would always be haunted by this stupid, childish dream we'd had that became a hell enjoyed by millions of people around the world.
That's terrible, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. You didn't do it to us.
No, we didn't, but still, this fucking soul-destroying thing you both have just been through. I know.
I just never thought the porn was like that. I mean, I knew it was bad. I thought people wanted to do it, you know.
Well, there were some people who wanted to do it, but a lot of us were forced into it. What we saw, we can never unsee.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Why don't some of us try to get some sleep? Try to warm up a little?
I don't think I can sleep right now, but you can sleep.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think I can sleep either. I'll stay up for a bit too. Must be nice to have a sister. I always wanted a sister.
Yeah, we weren't always this close. We were always at each other's throats as kids. I think having parents who didn't really care about having children kind of changed things for us. But yeah, it is nice. I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, you are.
What was that? Have we stopped?
I don't know, we were just chatting then I think we stopped. I don't know.
Hello, was anyone there?
Stop! Stop! We don't know what's happening. We don't want to make things worse. Just sit back down. Breathe. We'll be okay.
How long do you think we've been in here now? I've lost track.
I don't know. Honestly, a couple of weeks, I think.
I can't believe this is happening. I just want to get out and get back to my life. Do you think we'll get found?
I don't know. I really hope so.
Fuck knows if we get found, and who knows what lives we'll have if we do. I gave up being found a long time ago.
There is a group in the back of this container on the south side of the port, around 700 meters from the waterside, by the trees where we found the last group of people. Seems to be roughly 6 people, but could be more. Cannot see any fatalities as of yet. Seems to be no signs of the drivers. Scan the area for a 4-mile radius and get the medic teams on standby.
I'm an officer with the Metropolitan Police. You're safe now, it's okay. We're here to help you. Let's start getting you out of here. Let's get you warmer to the medics.
It wasn't her mistake. Didn't know any better or any other way. We let her break, hiding from the facts that are gonna break her back. She's not meant to feel this way. One offered hand may make or break. She's not meant to feel this way. One offered hand may make or break. From a neglected smile to many miles, captured unaware in the dark, fallen and grazed. Manipulation has his gifted ways. She's not meant to feel this way. One offered hand may make or break. She